Well, good evening. Well, actually, it's early evening right now. Let's get my headset on like I'm supposed to. I have a few things to say, and I hope that I won't terribly annoy you people. And what I'm talking about right now is Bibi's talk that he gave to the Congress and the Israeli reaction to that same talk. Now, Bibi was basically preaching to the choir in Congress. The enemies of Bibi just didn't show up. They didn't want to sit down there except for that one crazy Arab sympathizer that held up the sign. So for the most part, there was a lot of applause. And looking at it, a person would think, wow. And I think, wow, I thought, wow, that was a great speech to the Americans. And then I listened to both the Israeli right and Israeli left talking about that speech. And for the most part, the Israeli reaction was somewhat negative. The Israelis thought that, like I said, he's preaching to the choir, but most of the Israelis are skeptical about his ability to end the war. Israelis are tired. This is one of the longest wars we've ever fought in history. And we're tired of the war, and we're tired of Bibi. Now, that sounds a bit harsh, but it's a harsh situation. We will go on fighting, of course, as long as we have to go on fighting. But we also resent the idea that Trump would like us to get the hostages and run, just like the Democrats are saying, end the war, get what you can, and then work on things later on. Well, you see, what both the Israelis and the Americans don't understand, there is no second chance. Either we end the war now and wipe out Hamas, or we fight them again. Now, I've got a lot of grandchildren that are growing up. They'll have to fight Hamas because we didn't let their parents finish the job. Well, that's not a good idea. It's not a good thing, but this is the situation. Will Trump allow us to finish the job? And my answer to that is absolutely not. Trump will not say, I'll give you 100% support, go in and kill them all, because he won't do that. He'll threaten and he'll strut and he'll do everything he can. He'll give Israel as much support as he can in terms of ammunition, arms, whatever, but he will not let Israel finish the war, because somewhere deep in the heart of Trump, he fails to see the existential, is the word that we use these days, a threat to Israel of some beaten, downtrodden bunch of primitive Hamas people against a technologically superior Israel. What do you mean you have to wipe them out? They've learned their lesson. Take the hostages and go. Let us take care of producing and a peace program that will work in our estimation, and we will rebuild Gaza. And we'll make it in the image of America. Well, what's the image of America these days? You've got the left, you got the right, you got violence. The image of America. They will rebuild Gaza. And what's going to happen? They're already talking about Declan, who turned out he's not dead. Declan is everybody's choice to run the new Gaza. Isn't that great? Everybody's choice but ours. I personally know Declan. He's a charming bastard. He lies, just like they all do. But he can charm the Americans because America is susceptible to charm. So right now the situation is not good. His speech was incredible, but it didn't make a difference in Israel, and I don't think it's going to make a difference in America. Stay tuned and see what happens when Bibi meets with Trump and how he comes away from the meeting. Will he come away from that meeting bushy-tailed and bright-eyed, or will he come away from the meeting with a tail between his legs, realizing that he's not going to be that much better off with Trump than he was with Biden and Biden's people? Because America is interested only in America. And they're not interested in Israel except as being a stepping stone to a hegemony of America in the Middle East. The Jewish people in America are divided. Half of the Jews in America, want us to let Hamas alone. The other half would like to see us conquer Hamas. And Americans would not want to see us conquer Hamas because that would really be big problems with, for instance, continuing the Abraham Accords, which are far more important to America than beating Hamas, because that will be a Middle East treaty organization, as you'll see in the near future, that will rival NATO. And somebody has to pay the price, and that people that will have to pay the price are Israel. And I think somewhere back in their suspicious little minds, the Israelis realize this. And the question is, are we going to do anything about it, or are we just going to say, yes, master? Yes, master. We'll be good Jews and do as you say. So on that note, I'm going to call it a day. Have a wonderful week.